Good morning, and I'm Janet Nair. I'm a member of the leadership team for the CRWP. And so Sharon Murchie and I had the honor this fall of leading a group of new and returning people through the Invitational Leadership Institute, which is a feature of the National Writing Project. And the participants who successfully complete that are new teacher consultants for the CRWP, and a teacher consultant comes with a number of skills. And so I'm going to quickly cover what those are. So Troy, if you'll advance to the next slide. So the National Writing Project has a social practice framework that involves 6 different practices that we ask potential teacher consultants to engage in. And so writing obviously is one of them, because we're big on writing here. Going public with our practice. So the teacher consultants this fall all conducted teaching demonstrations with their colleagues in the fall. And many of those people you'll see today delivering their demonstration for a larger audience. So that's what we mean by going public with our practice. Learning and engaging in the profession. So often doing some research, conducting research around writing opportunities and around their own practices and effective practices for writing instruction. Collaborate and respond. And so we met in writing groups and we met in collaborative groups in order to give feedback and improve our teaching all fall. Lead. So many of these people go back to their districts and lead professional development, and they join our leadership team here at the CRWP. And then advocate is the other part of the practice that people have engaged in to earn the teacher consultant badge. So this fall, we were fortunate to pull from a much larger geographic area than we normally pull from. This is the first time we've offered a full Leadership Institute entirely online. And so we were able to pull as far as California and as close as right here in Michigan. And so we wanted to take a moment to quickly introduce our new teacher consultants. And here at the CRWP, we're big fans of snaps. So if you'd like to applaud them, you can do some snaps as we go through. So Sharon, I'll hand it over to you to introduce.
Absolutely. And I have never learned to snap my fingers. So I tend to do the jazz hands because I can't snap. So we've got Brian Arba. He joined us from St. Joseph High School in St. Joseph, Michigan. And he did a demo that I've actually used parts of this year about building community. And so that you can have really difficult conversations in an online environment. So really definitely inspired me. Next slide. I don't know who's running the slide deck. There you go. Sorry. Anna Contreras from Harper College in Illinois. Anna's been doing some incredible anti-racism work throughout, but she showed us how to really have thoughtful conversations and help students get more critical in their reading and in their discussion using Flipgrid. And I think she's going to be doing some of that today. So big snaps to Anna, or jazz hands. Jan Goodspeed is coming from California, so she got up early every Saturday to hang out with us. And she did this most incredible thing with Padlet. I'd never seen it before. It blew my mind. I need to go back through and watch it again, but it was fantastic how she really got us looking so much deeper into stories. With Padlet is a great online tool. Snaps, Jan. Mike Odum comes from Georgia Southern University. He's also working on his master's, I believe, in creative writing. Formerly a lawyer, fantastic human being. Love working with Mike. He always blows my mind. And he walked us through so many different ways to help students see that they have something to write about. And I know he's going to be presenting some of that today as well. So thank you so much to Mike. Lindsay Young comes from North Branch Elementary School in Michigan, and it was I'm usually always in a space with secondary teachers, so it was great to be in a space with the energy and passion of an elementary school teacher. I tend to get a little bit jaded, so thank you, Lindsay, for always bringing that, just that positivity, especially on a Saturday. And she showed us how she's using PSAs in the elementary school classroom, which was great. Like that, I'd never thought about pushing that down to the elementary school level. So it was really inspiring. So snaps to Lindsay. And then Megan Kowalski joins us from Illinois. And she is a returning teacher consultant. She'd gone through once before, but for some reason wanted to hang out with us on her Saturdays once again. She runs our book club. So you will hear more about what she's doing with her TC work here at CRWP. But she walked us through this great tool that took us on this road trip digitally so that we could research and yeah, it was so much fun. I had so much fun in her presentation. I want to figure out how to take that tool into my classroom. So great to have Megan with us. So thank you so much and congratulations to our teacher consultants, new and returning.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Sharon, for leading the Fall Institute. Welcome and welcome again to Megan. We're so glad to have you here. And for those who are joining and looking at the program, you're going to have opportunity to follow along and participate in some of these teaching demos this morning. As I kind of alluded to in the email earlier this week, I've given co-hosting privileges to all of our presenters who are going to record locally on their computers and try to make their video recording of their session available in the agenda document. So fingers crossed, technology will work well. We don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So hopefully you are going to be able to have access to the recordings of everything afterwards, and this Google Doc will remain active and you can come back to it. We are doing wonderful on time. So you can already see where the breakout rooms are going to go. I'm going to end the poll and show, and I'm going to see if Andy and Megan might want to say just a quick little 30 to 60 second word about the book club or the writing group, since we have just a moment here. So Megan, would you want to jump in and give everybody just a 30-second overview of what our book club is and how it works and what it's about? And what they might expect this spring.
Yes, I'd love to. So we run a professional book club here through Chippewa River Writing Project. It's very low stakes. So we choose the time we're going to meet and the book we're going to read together. I encourage you to attend as many as you can, even if you're not keeping up with the reading. So if you're feeling overwhelmed like many of us are this year, join the book club anyway. It's nice to check in and talk with like-minded educators, even if you're not keeping up exactly. Annie, it's usually a professional book. We have done some fiction before. So last fall we read Culturally Responsive Teaching and the Brain, which we're gonna do a little roundtable on if you're interested in later today. And then over the summer we did Flash Feedback. And the author was actually able to visit and give us some more insight into his techniques. So it's a really, really good time. If you're interested, I'm going to put my email in the chat. Just send me an email. I'll add you to the Google group and you'll get information about voting on our next meeting dates and books very soon. We're looking at hopefully starting again in March.
Well, thanks so much, Megan. And Andy, who has been facilitating the writing group for a while, has some new ways of doing the writing group this spring. Do you want to jump in for just a moment and share a few words about the writing group, Andy?
Yeah, I'm happy to do so. So kind of piggybacking on what Megan said, you know, sometimes joining either the book clubs or the writing group just to reconnect with people is a wonderful thing to do. So, you know, no worries about coming in with your tail between your leg, maybe because you didn't read the book, or maybe you have something that you're not considering writing. In our writing group, we have 3 different ways that you can kind of do writing this time around. One of them is just a free writing. So you can come in, get to see some people, there's some accountability, there's some responsibility. We'll write for about an hour. And in that free writing, you can do what you want. It could be maybe you're giving feedback on student work. Maybe you're working on your lesson plans. Maybe you're working on writing poetry for yourself, or maybe you're working on a professional piece. Maybe you're just journaling for yourself, but you want to have those spaces and places to come among people and other teacher writers to come and write. So the free writing session is one thing that happens. During the same meeting, you'll have an opportunity, if you would like to do some collaborating with people. Some people are interested in putting together proposals for different professional works for themselves, thinking about prospectuses perhaps for books or other publication forms, and sometimes stepping their toes into the waters of those other types of professional writings too. So that's another sort of angle that you could choose to go into, and that would be a breakout room, so similar to what we're doing here. And then the third option is for people who are wanting to do those publishing routes, you can get a feedback session. So we can lean on each other for feedback as well. And I think one of the benefits of leaning on teacher writers, especially when it comes to writing is such a vulnerable thing to do, and to share your writing and to share your words is a very scary thing to do. But there are no better people in my mind than teacher writers to share these words with. And the reason why I say that is because we see student work all the time. We write, we do feedback. We know what it's like when people respond to our work because we were students at one point too, or we share our work. And so you can choose ways in which you want to get feedback. In some ways, you might want to just choose to be blessed, maybe just talk about all the good things that are happening, just warm feedback. That's all you want to hear, because for most people, it's the warm feedback that keeps their pen coming back to the page or their fingers coming back to the keyboard. So we're going to be starting those writing groups this coming up Thursday at 7 o'clock, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Again, I'll put my email in the chat just like Megan did, and I'll add you to our group. We'd love to have you write with us.
Perfect timing. Thank you to both of you for the work that you do to facilitate those groups. We welcome any friends and colleagues of the Writing Project to join with us.